Welcome everybody. Welcome. Let me know you're there. Yes, June, you can just come onto Facebook and you can see it right in your private members group. You don't need to log in or anything. That's one of the joys of being a member. Hi, Susan. Hell. Elaborate, please, Susan. Or is that meant to be hello? That's good. Hell. I thought you were saying I'm putting you in hell. Okay, so I'm just to the side here. Just let me know who's there and that you can see and hear me. We'll just give it a wee second. Now, what you need, you can see I have got a foam roller set up. I've also got a couple of trigger point balls and I have my yoga wheel, but you don't need to have a yoga wheel if you don't have one. So just make sure you've got all of that equipment. Put your foam roller right in the centre of your mat, just as I've got here. Can you let me know that you can hear me okay? If I just show you, I've got a bit of a muff diffuser, a muffle diffuser here. So hopefully you can hear me. If I just stand over here, can you let me know if you can still hear me as clear? What do you think of our new tree? This is our new, it's out of storage. Yes, can hear. Thanks, Susan. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to take yourself down onto your foam roller. So your foam roller's in the centre of your mat. You've got a couple of responsive balls here, so nice and squidgy. When you're getting down onto your roller, sit your bottom right at the end of your roller, lie yourself back so that your head is fully supported on the roller. And as you lie here, just allow your body to take note of how it feels on the roller. What I mean by that is, are you centered or do you feel squinty? So just adjust your spine and get yourself as centered as you possibly can. Now from here, legs hip width apart, I want you to just focus on breath. We're going to put one hand on belly, one hand on upper chest. Take an inhale breath and then exhale. And as you breathe in, be aware of the belly moving, but no movement of the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. 2 more like that. Okay, and now place your hands at the side of your foam roller. Tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards, just to mobilize through the lower back. Up and down. Nice mobility. And just pause where you feel happy, just where you feel your spine is nice and natural. Now lift the arms up. Palms facing together, middle finger extended and reaching up towards the ceiling. Reaching up, take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, draw the shoulder blades back, wrapping around the roller as though you're hugging the roller. Take an inhale breath, reaching up. Exhale, drawing that back. Inhale. Exhale, draw back, keep it in contact. And then from there, turn the palms of your hands away from you and start to circle those arms around. So nice big circles. Really extending through that middle finger so you're getting into those fascia lines. Easing that all the way around. Bringing that round. Getting find that full circle as much as you can, really lengthening in that middle finger. Now, take your hands to the side of your body and try and get the backs of your arms to make contact with the floor. Now, if they don't, then maybe just use a little pillow to just elevate and lift the arm up. I want you to just feel that openness through the pectorals and just be mindful that your chest is not pigeoning out. So draw the rib cage down. Think about your back rib cage making contact with the foam roller beneath you. Take an inhale breath and exhale. And again. And then just roll those shoulders out. Maybe you felt a stretch down the arm across the chest. You will have felt that where you maybe have some tightness. We're going to go into a shoulder bridge on your foam roller. So take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, just start to tilt the pelvis and peel the spine one vertebrae at a time up off the foam roller. Take an inhale breath, and then as you exhale, bring your spine back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, lowering at the bottom, just nice and almost melting your spine down. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, peel, lift, squeeze the bum. Feet stay level, lengthen the arms away from you. Inhale. Exhale, ease that back down again. Just going to do two more like that. Inhale, squeezing the buttocks, tilting the pelvis, equally lifting each section off. Inhale, and as you exhale, bringing that down. We've got one more here. Inhale, exhale, lifting that up, peeling that off. Inhale, exhale, bring that down. And just ease that off. Oh. Okay, let's roll ourselves off the roller. Do not sit yourself up. So just move your roller to the side and immediately lie on your mat. So you're just in this position here. Just allow your spine to melt down into the mat beneath you and start to tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. So you just feel your spine almost feels like it's kind of disappeared. You've had that compression onto the vertebrae, releasing of the paraspinal muscles with that kind of point of force hitting on it. And then bring your knees into your chest. Hug your knees in as tight and as close as you feel comfortable. And just start to mobilize. Let's do little circles, little half circles if you prefer. Just moving through, only taking that into the point where you feel comfortable. You can have your legs closed together or you can have them slightly open, whatever your hips and pelvis need. And then just take your feet down to the ground, legs hip width apart. And I want you to just, hopefully you have the space, have the arms nice and wide, palms facing up, have the arms in line with your shoulders as I have done here. And take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, drop your knees to the left side and your head looks to the right side. And just allow that spinal twist. And then with your right arm, take your right arm up and then bring it down. Take the right arm up, inhaling here, and then exhale as you bring it down. Try and keep it in contact with the ground. Really reaching again through that middle finger. Bring that back in line. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, bring it all back through to center. Let's do the other side. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knees to the right side. Drop the head to the left side. And just try and get the hips stacked. Really feel that rotation through the spine. Allow yourself to settle into that. And then from here, inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. And again, inhale, really reaching through that middle finger. And then exhale. Do one more. Take the arms back to the side. Take an inhale breath, exhale, keeping the feet in contact with the ground. Bring the knees back, hug the knees into your chest. Just roll that out. Excellent. Again, just taking that into a little circle. Take it one way and then through into the other way. Just really getting into that lower back, mobilizing, releasing some of the ligamentous tissue here. Well done. So you're going to roll yourself up. Take your foam roller. Place your foam roller across your mat. I'm just going to check that you can all hear me. I can see lots of comments coming in, so hopefully you're all right. Yes, still clear. Hello, hi June. Brilliant. So foam roller across the top. Is everybody okay? Let me know if there's any questions and I'll try and address them. So we're going to work through the thoracic spine. So you're going to have your foam roller across your mat like so. And basically along your bra line is where you're going to be aiming to make contact. So you sit yourself down and then take yourself back. And if you need the support for your head, use one. It can be a cushion. It can be really anything you've got lying about that will support your head if you need it. I'm quite happy like this. I'm quite happy having my hands over here. Now, Susan, I know you're on tonight. You may not be happy with your neck up like this. So if you need to adjust your arm position, then just do so. Now, let's close our eyes. Now, let's just breathe. Now, this part of our spine, this thoracic, this big, long part of our spine tends to be where we get a lot of tension. Usually stiffens up, and it's usually one of the culprits of where we end up with forward head posture and kind of anterior shoulder displacement. So it's a really lovely area to kind of kill a few birds with one stone, essentially. Now, what I want you to do is lift your arms up and go into a toy soldier. One arm goes back, one arm goes forwards. Okay. Now again, for those of you who may have impingement nerve problems, only take this to where you are feeling no nerve sensation, right? So if you're getting any twinges, then just don't take it as far. And then take both arms back together. You're inhaling before you move, exhaling as you take both arms back, inhale as you come forwards. And again, taking this to just where you feel you can cope with, extending through that middle finger again. So you're not just willy-nilly just dangling here like a kind of dead fish, so to speak. You're extended through that middle finger, so that frontal fascia line. And then just hold it back this time. And just breathe here for a few seconds. Now that might be strong for some of you, so if you need to have your hands to the side, that's okay. Now bring the arms forwards and then roll on to one of your sides. It doesn't matter which, because you'll do both anyway. Take this arm and take it up if you can, because ideally what I want you to do is use your shoulder as a headrest. If you need to place something here like a yoga block or a cushion, feel free to do so. Now you're just underneath the armpit here. You're not right in the oxter armpit area. You're just underneath it. Relax the head down and take the top arm up. Your knees are bent with your hips stacked on top of each other. You're inhaling, you're coming forwards. You're exhaling, you're taking that all the way back. Inhaling, coming forwards. Exhaling, taking it all the way back. Now this will feel quite icky because you're right on that kind of serratus anterior and latissimus dorsi, the muscles at the back, muscles that are wrapping around your rib cage. These can sometimes be pretty tight. But also your serratus is a muscle that we tend to forget about. And there's usually quite a lot of trigger points in this area. Feels good. Now, move your foam roller down just a smidgen. So it's like half an inch. And then again, take it back and forwards. How are we feeling with that? Like, what are you feeling? Do you feel it little, ooh, whatever that little low is? Give me one more. And then we're going to change sides. Now I'm just going to take my foam roller and move it here just so that you're not basically looking at me from behind. That just is not, well, it's not very nice, is it? To just be lying with my back to you. So Arm out underneath the armpit, not on the armpit. And then you're just coming forwards. This is your inhale breath. Exhale as you go back. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. So this is a lovely area to get into the trigger points, and especially if those of you who have got dysfunction around your shoulders, maybe forward head posture, maybe shoulder rolling, maybe you get tension headaches, tension around your neck and shoulders. Believe it or not, working up under here is an important area not to be missed. Give me one more. And then from here, let's move that down. And again. So if you've had a long day sitting at the desk, sitting at home, working, ideal for you. Whoa. Feel that. And release that off. Well done. Sit yourself up and pick up your trigger point balls. So I'll show you this standing for me, but if you can remain lying down, that would be good. So you need both of your balls, just checking that you can all hear me. Yeah. So both balls, you're going to place the balls lying down, so you're lying down for this, onto your occipital bone. So think about where your neck and your skull meet, and you're placing your balls touching on that point, okay? So place those balls there. And all I want you to do from there is tuck your chin down and back up. So the chin goes down and back up. And what you're thinking about doing is basically getting this tissue release up the back of your neck. So the upper fibers of your trapezius muscles are where you're targeting for this. Good to see so many of you on tonight. Fabulous, guys. Remember, if you have any questions, please just ask. That's why you're here live. Those of you, I think many of you are really tuning in from Facebook. Great. And yes, so June, essentially, when you're on that membership, essentially, you'll be streamed live in here, so you don't need to book any sessions. They'll always be in here live. Okay, from there, let's move the balls down into the cervical vertebrae. So just place the balls in, and then from here, just let the weight of your head melt down onto the balls. Turn your head side to side. So you're just looking one side, then the other. This is how this looks. Oh, is that not just glorious? Now we're going to go on and start working through the shoulders. So we're going to target C7. So remove the balls, lift your head up, use your hand and feel, and right down your neck, you'll find that big sticky out bone, C7. Place the balls just underneath that. So that big sticky out bone, and then start to circle those arms around. Taking that around. Oh, is that not just juicy, juicy, juicy? And you can do what you like with your arms here, so you can circle it round, and you can really focus on that myofascia release by extending through the middle finger. You could bend the elbow if you feel you wanted to do that as well. That's okay. You could go back and forwards with the arms as I'm doing here. You can stay with the circles. You could do one arm at a time. And you could, of course, gently lift your bum up and apply more pressure if you wish to. Just be mindful that you're not loading up through the neck, though. Now, if you're not using squidgy balls, aka responsive balls, the squidgy ones, please just be mindful of putting too much pressure on that. You don't want to be putting too much pressure with the hard balls. Now let's move the balls wider, should you wish. So stay roughly at the same height, and let's start hunting out trigger points. So just circling that round, let's hunt out some lesions and adhesions in the body. Oh. How does that feel? Again, if you want to have the bum lifted, you can do. Easing that round. There we go. Excellent. And then just go a little bit wider, should you wish. That's it. And then again. You can start to work the balls just to where you feel you need them around that shoulder area. So go wider, go a little bit lower should you wish. You could even roll like I'm doing here. So whatever you feel that you need is all good. Excellent. Oh, who's getting creaks and yeah, feeling that? So don't be worried about kind of noises and kind of crackling. It's almost like snap, crackle, pop, isn't it? For some of you. So try and get this now between your shoulder blades, okay? So there's no easy way really to get into this. What I've found is if I roll myself one way, pop it up, roll the other way, pop it up, then, oh, yep. Oh, yep. That's good. Feel that. And then just sink that down and then ease that up. Sink that down and then ease that up. And again, sink down and ease up. And sinking down and easing up. And then just let's move the balls down to about bra line area. And just allow the weight. You can even put your hands just near your ribs and almost coax that down. And just push down into the balls just by tilting the pelvis, easing the body down. It's just getting a little bit of mobility through that. You can lift up through the pelvis if you want more pressure. Just see how that feels. This area of your spine does tend to get quite tense. And then let's just move the balls down. Just let that ease down. So you're just heading down your spine. Just move the balls down another little bit. You're not quite in the lumbar yet. And then just tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards, just allowing that pressure to sink down, release off. And then let's just take them down again. Let's go into that lumbar spine area. So we're in the lumbar. And just allow the body to melt down onto the balls. And then again, just tilting forwards and backwards. So just tilting, releasing, tilting, releasing. Oh. And then again, just move that down. Now you could, if you wanted to, bring the knees up and really get some pressure into that. If you're not comfortable with that, of course, you don't need to do. And then just move the balls wider across the pelvis and start to get in there. Okay, start to really work into that. That's it. Just where you maybe have tightness. So a lot of tightness through your lower back here, buttocks, hips, pelvis can come from your hips, your lower back. So a really nice area to target. Just remove those balls and go into a pelvic tilt and just notice how loose your spine feels, how much you've freed that up. You've released a lot of that tissue that very much can sometimes get a bit of a spasm for some of you that maybe get some injuries. It may not be necessarily your lower back. It may be somewhere else. It might be your knee. It could be your hips. But your lower back tends to get the brunt of a lot of these things. So what I'd like you to do now, if you have a yoga wheel, take it, and we're going to get on your yoga wheel. If you don't have a yoga wheel, use your foam roller, and you're basically just going to place your foam roller across your mat, and you're going to extend your spine over. We did that previous, so it's basically the same move again if you don't have the wheel. If you have the wheel, then you're going to sit right at the end. You're going to place it into the small of your back, hold it there as you lift yourself up, and then extend yourself over and just go have a play. Just roll your spine out, up and down. Arms can be whatever you need them to be, overhead, to the sides, whatever you want. You may feel that you want them onto the floor if you don't feel easy, like you feel you're going to fall off. This would be more advanced. Hands over. Whatever you feel tight and needing a release, this is great for you. Just gently bring yourself out of that. You don't need to be there long. Of course, if you have one of these on your own, you could be doing this on your own. All done. Pick up your trigger point balls. You actually only need one, and we're going to put this onto our greater trochanter. So we're going to focus a little bit down onto the below the pelvis here. So let's all do our left leg. So straighten your left leg out, take the leg out to the side, and what you're looking for is a kind of dimpling effect. If you don't feel a dimple, just basically put the ball at the side very high up, and then roll yourself over to the side and lie on it, and it should feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I want you to just lie there. If you have tougher balls, sounds a bit naughty. If you have more dense balls, there we are, trying to be polite, then you could use them here. That's fine. And all you need to do, you don't need to do anything, just at the hips and just remain there. You can do a little side by side like movement if you want to, like almost just coaxing it, but you really don't need to do much here. Just that being there and that pressure onto that point will release the tissue. So we're on the greater trochanter, which is a bony prominence on the femur bone of the thigh. It's a busy junction, a lot of tendon tissue attaching there, some of that tissue coming from the lower limb and some from the back and the pelvis buttock area. So it's an area that it's almost like the centre of your mass. What is the centre of your mass? And it's an area that very much from an injury perspective, lower body and upper body, it's that kind of central junction. So it's a really lovely area that can give you a big bang for your buck targeting this. Now let's move the ball down so we kind of roll off a little bit, and we just want to move it down a little bit. So we're kind of coming on to the iliotibial band here. So for the runners among you, this is usually an area that feels pretty gritty and not nice. It's impossible to stretch your iliotibial band. I think it's something like 900 forces tons, some ridiculous amount of force would be required to actually stretch it. So it's impossible to stretch it. But what you can do is affect the tissue surrounding the iliotibial band and therefore have an effect on that tissue to relax. But don't think you're stretching the IT band, you're not. And then just pop that here down a wee bit more. We're not going to go as far as the knee purely just because of you're not here in person. I can't see where you're applying it, and we just want to be safe. I don't want you faffing about with your knees. Right, let's do the other side. So I'm going to spin round. You can basically just turn round if you want and at home. But just get yourself whatever your environment is like. But you want to find that greater trochanter again. So you want to just take the leg to the side. You almost feel like a little dimple very high up on your pelvis. But basically, as long as you put it high up, side of your pelvis, side of your hip, basically, then you're on the right bit. I'm definitely on the right spot. If it's sore, you're on it. Good God, it's really sore tonight. This is my good side too. And then just move that down. So you can see you really don't need to move. You don't need to do much. Just even that pressure on that area is enough. All right, less is more with this stuff. It doesn't need to be fancy. Just be calm. Take it easy. It's all fine. And then again. And then remove that ball. Well done. How we all feeling? Everybody good? Let me just check the comments, make sure everybody's fine. Good. Excellent. Okay, so what I'd like to do from here is to place the balls onto the hips, right? So we're going to go right in to, so if you think about where your leg bends, so your hip flexors up here, you're going to place the balls bilaterally, each side, onto that bit, and just gracefully lie there. Okay, so just apply that pressure, just almost push your pelvis down onto the balls. Can you all hear me okay? Let me just move this mic there so that I'm not all muffling. Right, so push your pelvis down. So you've got pressure going down into that. Now then what I want you to do is bend your right knee while you're pushing that pelvis down, and then take that leg down. And then do the same with the left. And then bring that back. Now, instead of being right into the hip, just come on to the central quad quite high up, okay? Again, just push your quads down into that and just let that sink in. Now, I want heaviness, you're almost pushing into the balls. Now, from here, bend the right knee, and that will feel a wee bit, ew. So we're going to do a few of these, just keep going with that same right leg. So you're doing about 4 of these. And then change over to the left. So you're really pushing down, bending, extending. Excellent. And then just move down again. So another little inch, still right in the central part of the quadricep, right in those thigh muscles, bending the right leg, straightening. Two more. So really pushing your thigh down to the balls as well. Okay, so you're not relaxing your leg, you're really energized through the leg, you're pushing it down. And then the left leg, pushing it down, bending, and then straightening. But all the while, you're pushing the thighs into the ball. Good, pushing down. I'm going to do one more there. Feel nice and juicy. Let's do both legs together, pushing the thighs down into the ball. Now keep the legs bent, push the heels up to the ceiling, and just push down into the balls, push into the balls. And then point the toes, straighten the legs. Heels out, bend the knees. Point the toes, straighten the legs. Heels out, bend. Point toes, straighten. Heels out, bend. Point toes. And release. Come off that. And come and sit on your balls. Sit on your balls. Good. Feeling okay? Quite a nice one for those quads. That's your long hip flexor there as well, your rectus femoris that we targeted. It's a really good one again for the hip, the pelvis, the low back, the knee. So let's now get into piriformis. Take that round. One most of you will all know. Whoo! This is the best bit. This is the bit we look forward to. Feel good? And then just straighten your legs out. Make sure you're just sitting on the balls. I'm going to do my right leg, which will look like my left to you. So if you guys all do your left leg at home. So put your left leg over the right leg. Push the heel out of the left foot. Bend the right knee. Lean to the left. And eat your heart out. Get in there. Feel that? Woo, hell yeah. Get right into that butt. Into that butt. Oh, it's so good. Now, so this is my good hip, so I can do this. Let's laugh at me as I try and do the left. So do your next leg. So it will look like my right, but it's really my left. This is as good as this is getting. And lean over to that side, so it'll be your right side, and get right into that buttock. Whew. Okay, massaging into that, working into that tissue. Easing that out. And then release that out. Take your foam roller, and you're going to put your foam roller in front of you, calf muscles onto it. Right leg over the top of left leg, and just side to side it. Just wiggle it side to side. Just releasing. Can you see me? I'm slightly out of camera there, aren't I? Just getting into those calf muscles. Go further up into the belly of that muscle, so the big fleshy bit of it. Same leg. Let's just do the other side with that. Right into the belly of that muscle. Oh, so good. Just easing that out. Calves and feet and ankles will thank you for that. Okay, stand up, have your ball. Let's get some mobility through the feet. So, what I want you to do is just mobilize your feet, just move through your ball, just get in there. See if you can pick your ball up with your foot. Pick your ball up. Pick your ball up. Spread your toes, pick the ball up. Spread the toes, pick the ball up. Do the other side. So get in, side, back, really just mobilizing through the feet. Pick your ball up. Pick your ball up. Pick it up. And use those feet. And then release that off. Get your foam roller. Just set it in front of you. I'll do it sideways so you can see me. Get your right foot and just put your toes against it so that your big, so the ball of your big toe and all your little toes are basically touching the ground. And then all I want you to do is just lean forwards. So you're really just getting that stretch through the plantar fascia. You might feel that all the way up through the kind of foot and all the way up into the ankle joint, into the calf. You feel it where you need to. Okay, so plantar fascia stretch. And then release that off. Do the other side. So your big ball of your big toe is actually in contact with the ground, okay? But the toe is up on this foam roller. Knee comes forwards. Hold it there. Get that fascia stretch. Feel good? Now come and stand on your roller. Use the wall if you need to. Just let your feet mold over the roller. Okay, let them mold over it. Balance. And then just bend. Rise up. Use your buttocks. Sink down. Rise up. One more. Sink down. Rise up. Step off said roller. Rise up with arms. Side bend your way up. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, baby back bend back. Bring forwards, arms down. And well done. Fantastic work this evening. Good job. Hope you all enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. But a huge big well done. Linda is teaching in 15 minutes. She's doing her mat-based Pilates. So come and join her. But well done. Fantastic work, guys. We'll see you all again soon.